I haven't even got anything pulled up. I don't even have the chat up. I'm just slacking.
Well, not you, Rich. You wouldn't do that, would you?
I guess I would, apparently.
Did I hear you say you're slacking on a Trees of Blowing chat?
Yeah, I know. This is messed up.
Shame.
It's not good.
Now, are you Rich 1911 or Revolver Rich or Smith and Wesson Rich? Like, who are you tonight?
It's semi-auto. That's the problem. Yeah.
Okay, well, that explains it.
At least it ain't Lord Dragon Balls.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have found his way onto this. So yeah, that guy's messed up. He's
It'd be an interesting chat then.
Yeah, I may have to let him come on one time just to.
There you go. Bring him on. Resist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a. Go ahead.
Let's play in a commercial.
Soccer Steve's out there. I got a video I want you guys to play. It's about 3 minutes long, but I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but it is cuter than heck. Okay, let me see. Go over to screensaver.
Are you playing the one I just uploaded?
Huh?
You playing the one I just uploaded?
I don't know.
Those usually are pretty cute.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just messing with you, Don. Yeah, I did just upload one, but yeah, it's not.
This is only about 2.5, 3 minutes long. I think you guys get a kick out. You may have already seen it. I got it on Facebook the other day, and I said, I got to show that tonight. So here we go. Okay. Share.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my body could use a little slimming. I keep my shirt on when I go swimming. And I ain't seen my feet since 1984. The old lady wants to roll in the hay. We turn the lights down all the way, 'cause I don't look good naked anymore. No, I don't look good naked anymore. I'm a deep fried double wide version of the man I was before. If I keep on like I'm doing, I won't fit through the door, and I don't look good naked anymore. Well, I used to be a hell of a man. I chop wood with just one hand, but I can't do the things I've done before. Well, it all happened kind of slow, but I guess I kind of let myself go. Now I don't look good naked anymore. I don't look good naked anymore. I'm a deep fried double wide version of the man I was before. If I keep on like I'm doing, I won't fit through the door, and I don't look good naked anymore. With each and every passing year came a lot of French fries and beer. Then my belly hung a little closer to the floor. Now my belly is big as a truck, and the old lady don't wanna. She don't wanna, 'cause I don't look naked anymore. No, I don't look good naked anymore. I'm a deep fried double wide version of the man I was before. If you keep on like I'm doing, I'll get through the door, and I don't look good naked anymore. No, I don't look good naked anymore. I'm a deep fried double wide version of the man I was before. If you keep on like I'm doing, I'm walking right out the door, and I don't look good naked anymore. No, I don't look good naked anymore.
Good stuff.
I thought that was cute.
I remember seeing that years ago. I have a feeling that whoever ran that's not the original version, because that had 142,000 views. I have to believe that the original has over 1 million, probably a couple million.
Huh. I've never seen it before. I seen it on Facebook the other morning, and I thought, it'd be cute to start out the chat tonight. As Rich says, give it a little structure.
There you go. Now we got a path to go down.
You know, the whole time I'm watching that, I couldn't help but think how many people he got involved and how much, like, that was a lot of editing. That was a ton of editing. And somebody put a ton of effort into that. To first write the song, if it is his, and then perform it, then lip sync it through all those things, get everybody dancing, get everybody else involved. You know, that took a lot of effort to do that.
Oh yeah, it's do all that kind of stuff. It really does. You guys keep talking. I'm going to send out a link here.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and do a little gun porn. Tonight for me is going to be AR with carry handle night. So there's that little AR pistol that I built a while back.
Nice, Rich.
Yeah.
Is that the 11.5?
I'm sorry?
11.5 inch barrel?
10.5, I think.
10.5?
Yeah. It may. Yeah, I think it is 10.5. I could be wrong. It could be 11.5. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
I got to get mine out. I haven't took mine out shooting since I originally did the video on it.
Well, there's some fun little guns to shoot. I tell you what. That and that little AK pistol, those are about my favorite guns to shoot, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a blast.
Yeah.
I love to shoot anything.
I hear you. Just about anything does the trick. It's very therapeutic.
Yeah. Having a bad day, go to range.
Yeah, I needed to do that today. This week was a hell of a week for me. It wasn't really fun. So I should have just come home and blasted at least a good 40, 50 rounds.
Rich, I noticed most of the time you shoot in your backyard, but sometimes you go to an indoor range.
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Because it seems like you have some neighbors there. And I'm wondering if you have to, let them know prior to shooting or if it's just polite etiquette.
I'm just trying to be kind of polite. Most of the stuff I do in the backyard is really just video stuff. I don't shoot a lot. Like I don't shoot a lot of rounds out back because I don't really want to bother them like that. I wouldn't want to be bothered like that. Somebody out there just, 50, 100 rounds because I shoot often. And so I just don't, I'm just trying to be polite. Nobody complains and I kind of want to keep it that way. And
how far away are the neighbors?
Oh, I've got like 3 neighbors that are within, they're probably 40 yards away. There's some across the street and then on each side, probably about 40 yards. So they're pretty close.
And you get along with them?
Yeah, they've well, one of them there's nobody living there right now, and the other one, yeah, they're fine. It's good as long as I don't go cut their flowers up and stuff with the lawnmower. Everything.
How much land do you have back there?
I've got about 2.5 acres.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It must be nice just to go out your backyard door and pop off a few rounds if you want to,
Yeah, it is. It's nice, but mainly that's just like videos. I just shoot a few rounds most of the time when I do that, and it's not really like a range per se.
Yeah. Plus you got your steel there where you don't get it on the indoor range.
Yeah, absolutely. I would shoot nothing but steel if I could. I wish I could.
We got the Crazy Scotsman joined us. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
One day at a time, brother. One day at a time.
Nice. Oh, look at that comment. Firearms 101 is selling all of his Glocks. Success.
Nice.
That feels good.
I only got one. I don't plan on selling it, but now that I got the old Beretta, I don't even know if I'll be shooting a Glock a whole lot more.
Wow.
Can't go wrong with a Beretta.
Only thing wrong with it is with my hands being messed up or my wrist. With that all milled out along that barrel, for follow-up shots, I've really got to grip down on it to hold it in. Otherwise, it wants to ride with me a little bit.
Yep.
That's the only thing I've really can say that I'm not happy with is that lightness in the front end, because all the weight is right back here in the hand. I mean, it's great for recoil, but for follow-up shots, I've really got to muscle it, and it's hard for me to do.
Yeah, I bet it is kind of light there on the top front, isn't it? Or kind of.
I may check about getting a tungsten guide rod for it to get some more weight out there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you changed the guide rod out, or is it still plastic?
Nah, it's still a plastic one.
Yeah, anytime I've ever bought a Beretta, the first thing I do is switch out the guide rod, stainless steel.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I was thinking stainless, but I may go tungsten because they're a little bit heavier if I can find one.
Yep.
At a reasonable price.
Well, let me know if you can. I'll help you find one.
All right.
A couple of guys out in the chat talking about CZs. I'm enjoying my new CZ, the newest one, the P09. It's a nice little gun.
How's the grip on that? Is it the same as the P07 or is it larger?
It's actually it's the same. It's just longer, and it feels it's not any different. I guess to me, just with it being longer, I guess the way it looks, it just seems like it might be thinner, but it's the same. It's basically the same thing. It's just maybe a half inch longer or so.
Okay. I was kind of curious about that.
I want to compare that with the Phantom.
That'd be a good close comparison. I think it'd be.
Yeah, because I think that was the reason why CZ initially discontinued the Phantom, and then they brought it back. And the main question was, what are the differences? You know, they're essentially the same size. Use the same magazine, I believe they do.
No, well, they might. The Phantom, yeah, that might be the same, but I don't know. I know that it's going to be different on the top. Definitely the slide setup's different. Because basically, like the SP or the P01 that I've got it's basically the slide is like that one, and I don't know. They're still pretty close. It's just a little different shape, I think.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a good comparison.
Big video.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I do like that Phantom though. I like it. I actually like it more than the all steel SP01. I happen to have them both, and they use the same uppers. You know, they could interchange no problem. But something about that Phantom is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a good looking gun. I've thought about it. I definitely want that or the SP01. I mean, I hadn't decided for sure which one I want to get.
Well, if it's that close to the P09, may as well just get the steel model.
Yeah, that's kind of where I've been leaning, because I like the heavy guns. I have no problem with that. But then I like the light guns. I'm just kind of all over the place, so it doesn't. I don't know. Hey, TR.
TR has joined us, and he ain't at home. I know where he's at.
Yeah, we all know where he's at.
Am I sounding okay? I ain't roboting or anything?
No, you sound all right. To me, anyway.
Okay, just check.
Yeah, what's up, TR?
How's it going, Dan?
Good.
Yeah, I can't see the comments. I don't have enough bandwidth for that, but as long as this is working, we're good.
You're good. You're good. Yeah. So, well, talk a little bit of guns now. I want to talk something. I put a link in. I don't know if any of you are interested in it or not. Let me go over here to screen share. Do-do. Do-do. I got this from Gun Owners of America the other day on email. And if you want, like I said, I put the link. It's got the House gun votes for 2017 and 2018. And then it's got a spot you can click to see how your senators voted. On the House side, it was concealed carry reciprocity, Social Security gun ban, veteran gun ban, gun owner registration, gun ban for vets and seniors, and a gun ban for vets and seniors too. And the Senate was Social Security gun ban, closure on Gorsuch, confirmation of Gorsuch, protection of gun owner privacy, and gun bans for vets and seniors, part 1 and part 2. I put a link to it. And it's pretty interesting to see how your if you don't know how your representatives voted, gives you a little idea. The plus is good, the minus is bad, I guess. So, but it goes into all detail down at the bottom. Let's see, let's just jog it right down there.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right
I know
here.
how ours voted, Trees.
Oh, our senators,
They're horrible.
you know how those two knuckleheads voted. Like
Yeah.
concealed carry reciprocity. H.R. 38 only occurred after a gun control had been added to the bill. Representative who co-sponsored a clean version of the bill, earned a plus sign. So, if anybody interested in it, like I said, I put a link in the description. You can go over, and if you want to check out how your rep voted and whatnot, it's there.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, I got that from Gun Owners of America the other day. And my representative out here in this district, he's voted pro-gun on everything, so I don't really like him, but as long as he stays where he's supposed to.
That's locally, right?
No, this is federal House of Representatives and U.S. Senators.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
And
all.
who do you remember the name of the guy?
Trott's my congressman. Trott.
Okay, so he's Republican.
Yeah.
Why don't you like him?
I don't like the way he got in because, well, this will be his second or third term. I can't remember, but T.A.B.Videos, you know, when McCotter got caught with his hand in a cookie jar, his seat come up. He didn't run for re-election. And Benavido, which I met him at the gun show, he's a real nice guy, strictly, you know, conservative all the way. And he got elected for a 2-year term. Well, he wasn't a Republican establishment's candidate. So the next 2 years, they got Trott in there. I guess I just got a bitter feeling with Trott as far as the way he got in. I hate to see him crap on somebody like that.
Yeah, but you know the way politics is.
Yeah, that's politics for you.
Yeah, there's not much loyalty.
No. Go to the highest bidder.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
pretty much how it goes, man. It's all about money. All about money. Money and control.
But yeah,
And that's
power.
how the guy that's will probably end up replacing Trey Gowdy
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he had the most money, and he beat the guy that I pulled for, Lee Bright. He won the upstate for his districts and stuff, but in the lower part of the state, that Timmons got it. And without getting too much into politics, anyhow, a lot of people on the Democratic side, they'll go vote in the Republican primaries, and that guy's like back Graham, and so he's like a Lindsey Graham Republican.
One of those. I tell you what was a big shock, and I don't care for it, but it was that what was it, New York? That
woman.
That young girl, a 28-year-old girl, knocked off that, and I guess she had a real low budget and stuff, but knocked off that top. Well, he was actually the front runner to Nancy Pelosi's leader of the House if the Democrats took it over, and he got knocked off. I thought that was kind of cool, even though she's a avowed Bernie Sanders socialist type person.
Well, that goes to show you, you know, and I like what Trump's loving it because that guy, what's his name, Joe Crowley,
something like that, Creeley, something like that.
He was one of Trump's biggest critics, and there's no question this girl will be if she gets in there. She probably will get in there, being New York. But I just love it when Trump gets the last laugh. He goes on his rally tour and just rips everybody to shreds. Just cracks me up.
Yeah. I tell you what, this Maxine Waters is sure a loose cannon, ain't she? Woo! Yeah. Man, seems like there ought to be against the law of what she's doing as far as trying to.
Well, there's some congressmen trying to censure her. Now, what that entails, I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs about that, and I don't know that it's going anywhere. But there's some that are wanting her censured. I don't know if that's how I don't think it's censored like a movie's censored or whatever. Or speech it starts with an S or something. Anyway, I think, I don't know, but whatever, something about keep her from public speaking or something.
It just seems like that's wrong. In inviting people to do that to people, you know, doing their jobs, you know, they're just working for Trump, you know. Yeah, they support him and stuff like that, but to do that kind of thing, especially like his what's the press secretary's name, Sanders. Yeah, that was that's crazy. And then follow the rest of the family across the street when her and her husband left, and follow them across the street still doing that crap, you know, to another. Her family ain't got nothing to do with it, you know.
No, it's disgusting.
That's the way those idiots are. They preach, you know, inclusion, love everybody, be open-minded, and they are the least open-minded people in the world. You can see right through them.
And they're all rallied and were backing when the baker wouldn't make the wedding cake for the gay couple.
Yeah.
And in the instance with that, he offered them any cake he made. I could be wrong with this. I think he offered to make them a wedding cake, and they could change it when they got home. Like he wanted 2 grooms on it or something, and that was where he's, no, I can't do that. But I could make you this cake. I could do whatever you want. I'm just not going to make that cake.
Right.
And so he didn't even refuse them service. He refused a custom cake, not what he sold. You know. Mm-hmm. And then they're all jumping for joy for that. But then when a Republican or whatever goes into a restaurant, well, it's okay to refuse service then.
Yeah. I just think it's disgraceful the way they're treating his staff and their families and stuff. That Pam Bondi down in Florida, her and I guess it was her boyfriend went to some theater, and boy, they was just raking her across the coals. She said 3 big old burly guys got right up into her face, you know, yelling at her and stuff. That ain't no cause for that crap. That was a Republican doing that. If a bunch of us Republicans did that to somebody, Jesus,
that would be huge ordeal. That's right-wing extremist, you know, attack.
Oh, yeah. you couldn't say anything about Obama without being labeled a racist.
Yeah.
I mean, that was. I'm so glad that era is over. I mean, right? They would play the race card immediately. Oh well, it's clear that you're a racist. Well, hang on. I don't like the healthcare system. I don't like his stance with the economy or taxes. Or oh well, then you must just be a racist with some smirk on their face, like they saw through you or something. That whole thing was just a disgrace. A bunch of hypocrites.
Well, you're still a racist if you support Trump somehow or another.
Yeah. You can't get away from being a racist with these people.
Kyle Lusk asks a question. Does anyone else think that the shooting today might take eyes off of the Supreme Court?
I don't know. I think because it was a shotgun, it's not going to get near as much play out of the whole mess.
Is that what it was? I heard it was a long gun, but I never heard what.
Yeah, I heard it was a shotgun. I don't know. That's the only detail I know. I don't know much about it, but yeah.
It'll be forgotten about.
I can tell you they. Sorry, TR. I can tell you they turned around before they were even finished with getting it taken care of and getting back out the building. The first words out of the media's mouth was, "What kind of gun was it? What kind of gun was it? What kind of gun was it?" That was all they wanted to know. Was it an AR? Was it an AR?
Every time I hear of a shooting, that's the first thing that goes through my mind. Was it an AR or a Glock with a 30-round magazine or something like that?
Yeah, but they jumped on the bandwagon before anything was even finished and done with. They didn't have a chance. First words out of the mouth. What kind of gun was it?
Well, and what are the chances we're going to find out that this guy was some Antifa or some angry liberal about something? You know, the paper wrote some story against something, whatever the case. It's usually not who they hope it is.
It's like it seems to be here in the last few years. It's pretty much 99% usually a liberal, Democrat, socialist, something to that order.
Mm-hmm.
It's like never a law-abiding NRA member, card-carrying Republican. Never.
I'm wondering how many FBI tips and all there were on the guy before, the last few years, and what kind of stuff was missed, because it seems like that's been a fad here lately as well, where the law enforcement missed out on their deal with him.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I give kudos to the local police force, though. There was a tweet that went out, and they were there within about a minute and a half of the tweet going out.
I heard 60 seconds they was there.
So I give kudos to them. That was rocking it right there.
Yeah, that's a good response time. Well, there we go. I mean, you can see all the damage in a minute and a half. I mean, I hate to say, I told you so, but it applies. I mean, it doesn't take long.
Captain Shark saying out there that he had a Twitter with rants and death threats going back to 2012.
Another fine example of fine government work. Good job, government.
Go.
Frank Guy, why is TR just a floating head? What did I do? Scare him away? There he is.
MG Mango says his kids and wife were at that building an hour before the shooting.
Wow.
No, that's a little better. Can they see me a little better now? You can see the house,
Yeah,
I think.
a little bit of the roof there. Yeah. The ceiling.
I think Frank misses your flag.
Oh, a lot.
There you go.
That's good. Yeah, I hadn't read anything about the latest shooting yet. I've been at work the last few days. So
Yeah, I just watched a little bit of it on the news today.
Yeah.
And I did hear somebody say something on Facebook or something about one of the first things said by I don't know who, but somebody in media or something is like they're gonna have to start stepping up security at their places, business or whatever. But then when the school shootings happen, they don't want any more security there. What's up with that?
Yeah,
Well, good point.
Yeah, because the media is much more important than the kids. Yeah.
Well, they was talking about that in New York around all NBC, CBS, and Fox and all of them today, that the big news things that they was increasing police presence around them and stuff.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I got to take care of the press, man. Don't worry about the kids, just take care of the press.
Isn't it interesting though? You see what happened at the YouTube headquarters, and then you see what happens here at I haven't read too much about it, but it sounded like local media, like newspaper outlet, right?
Yeah, they're in Washington, yeah, or Maryland, wherever it's at.
Yeah, Maryland. And then you see eventually who did it. Usually some hot-headed liberal who's not happy about something. And it's just this theme that constantly occurs time and time again. And yet these idiots are not able to put two and two together. And it just blows my mind that it's the same thing over and over. And yet we get the same blowhard politicians yapping the same stuff. It doesn't change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Scotsman was saying,
one way. It's whatever it is they're thinking about it is the only right situation.
Well, even the immigration issue with all the leftists, I mean, just crying on, literally crying on camera, and just all this hate and yelling and Trump's doing just bad, 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 bad. But yet not one of them will work with the Republican side to do anything about it. Not one.
mm-hmm.
Well, yesterday,
if it's such a problem and you're so concerned over the children, well, get in there and work out a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've had, let's see, Clinton was in office 8 years. Bush was in 8 years. So that's 16, 24 years they've had to deal with this. That it's been a problem since way back before then. And now it's just, somebody's trying to do something about it. It's like, oh, hell no, we cannot solve this. We need to argue about this for the next 24 years.
Well, I've seen old interviews or old press statements from even Pelosi at one of the detention centers in 2014 talking about the kids and saying, well, we don't need to make this a political issue. This is something we got to do. This was back when they were pushing immigration reform. Obama, Hillary, Pelosi, all of them wanted immigration reform. Now, not one of them will come to the table and say, okay, how are we going to work this out? Not one.
Well, it's funny because the vote they had yesterday on the immigration thing, it failed big time. It was like 300 and something against and 100 and some for, but 100 and some Republicans voted against it.
Yeah.
I mean, Republicans can't stand pat on something. I mean, how are you going to do anything?
Yeah, exactly. And they say it'll be even harder to go through the Senate.
Yeah. One thing you can say about the Democrats now, they got something. They stick together, whether right, wrong, or what. They stick together. With the Republicans, they're just like a bunch of wolves eat their own kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they do stick together, but very seldom it's for the betterment of the country. It's for the betterment of themselves. And so they do stay united. I'll give them that. But it's not to help anybody, further themselves in our country. It's for themselves and themselves only. And it's pretty.
They don't care about the people. They don't care about anyone here. They don't care about the media. All they care about is this right here. That's it. What's in their pocket?
I hate to keep harping on voting, but that's one of the good things about, and why I'm so disappointed in primaries and stuff, is that you get a chance to get the rhinos out and get a more libertarian candidate. You know, we almost ousted Lindsey Graham out of his ability to run. It was like 40-something% to 40-something%. Like he had 47% and the other guy had 44. It was that close to where he couldn't even run for senator the last election that he ran. So we got the power to get those people out. It's just people don't freaking vote.
Hey, TR, help me with something. I keep hearing Lindsey Graham, okay, fine. He was probably a never Trumper. But when I hear him talk, and he seems to say things that I agree with, but yet when I hear other people, they can't stand the guy, and I don't know if he just falls under the establishment kind of thing. But why is he so disliked? I don't understand.
Well, he's just what we call like a rhino. He's your establishment Republican. Yeah, I ain't saying everything he does is bad, but he does enough bad stuff that I don't like him. And half of South Carolina don't, but they still vote him in.
Yeah.
But he was. I can't bring up some examples. Oh, like when Rand Paul was filibustering the Senate over. I want to say it was a Homeland Security bill, something to do with like the where they tap our phones and do the mega data and all that. He was filibustering while Rand Paul was doing that. Lindsey Graham and John McCain was having a beer with Obama. The beer summit,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I don't like that. I mean, that would get me riled up.
Yeah. And there was also he was one of the, what do they call that? Something of 8.
The Gang of 8.
The Gang of 8 that wanted to do like, 25 million people with amnesty and stuff without anything else, just do amnesty, So he's one of those guys. But I'm not saying he's anti-gun. I'm not saying he's, a bad Republican. Just in general, he's not the kind of Republican that I am. I'm a more libertarian. I'm more for, people having rights and not infringing on them and looking out for Americans over other people,
Yeah. Okay.
But he's I don't know how much you know about it, but like you see a lot of stuff like that with John McCain. And Lindsey Graham and John McCain are like best buds. They're twins.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I just could never figure that out because every time I hear him speak, I'm like, okay, he sounds pretty good with what would align the way I feel. And yet I hear so many people, the rhino, establishment, all this, and I'm like, what's the matter with this guy? But I could see what you're saying.
But he's probably like every other politician out there. They say what you want to hear. And then they flip around, turn around, and do whatever they want at that point.
So something I don't understand about, like with McCain, it's my understanding he's still like recovering or going through treatment or whatever it is he's doing. He's not able to do his job, and I'm not trying to be insensitive here, but if I couldn't do my job, I'd be like put off on something, FMLA for a little while, and then eventually they would just they have to companies have to survive. Why does our government not have to have people there? Why is it not required, you know, that he's in Washington doing whatever everybody else is doing right now? I don't understand that.
Well,
I don't think somebody else could vote for you, though.
Well, that's why he should be, I think he should be replaced if he can't do his job. But that's
it. No one is held accountable. It's like, I forget when it was, but they were doing a vote before. Half of them never showed up. They boycotted the vote completely. Didn't even show up to vote. That's insubordination to your job. They should all have been fired right then and there, but they never were.
Now, as far as it may depend on what kind of vote it is, they are people that vote for other people. I've actually seen them showing, like C-SPAN, showing clips of it, and a vote comes up, and there'll be some aide or whatever running to different seats, hitting the buttons.
Wow.
Voting.
I've never seen that.
That's jacked up.
Yeah, that's jacked up. I mean, you know, they surely they have their permission to do it, but hey, yeah, vote yay for me or nay for me on such and such. And no kidding, I mean, running up the aisles, going down, just, you know, hitting buttons.
As much as they're getting paid and as little as they really actually have to work, and they can't manage to go there and hit a button.
And it's probably on the votes, you know, because some votes, they don't have to, it's just a yay or nay, and your name not even put down what you voted. It's just so many yeses, so many no's. And it's not accounted for.
Wow.
I don't think those should be allowed, period.
No. Oh, we should have the right to know what everything that they vote on. Of course, we don't even have the right to see probably even a third of the bills and things that they vote on anymore. It's like, and then after the fact, we can't see anything. Like if something comes up, it's, well, that's been redacted and that's been redacted and all that. We can't see any of it.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. You talk about the bills themselves like that. You know, they bring these bills out, and then it's one thing, and then 6 months later, it's the same bill number, but it's something else.
Yeah, it's had all the what do they call it that gets put into them? I can't even think of it. The oh crap.
I think what you're trying to sum up is backroom deals.
Well, it is. There's a word for it. All the things that gets added into stuff, and I can't believe I can't think of the word.
Pork spending.
That's basically what it is.
I mean, like HR is like 4150 or something like that for Ohio. It was a health care bill. No, it is straight up guns.
Yeah, James out there said earmarks is what it is. It's all like millions and millions of dollars. There's like all this hidden stuff that gets put in there that we don't ever even see that's been attached to that bill.
Yeah, and they constantly flip and add things every which way they can, and half of us will never see them and never know what they are.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
and how that, I don't know, say how it started, but what those earmarks are is, say Senator Joe Blow from whatever state says, well, if you want my support, we need to add this to it. Let's add this little earmark where $50,000 goes to the library in my state.
Yeah.
Just little stuff like that. You know, we need whatever. They'll just add to get my support, this has to be there. And they all do it. So they're all like, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's how Obamacare got passed. Everybody got their own little piece of the pie for their vote.
Yeah, that one senator out of Nebraska, they called it the Cornhusker, whatever it was. I can't remember. We had a congressman up at the UP that they really needed his vote to pass that Obamacare, but he's a vowed Catholic. He don't believe in abortion and stuff, but they fed him a bunch of crap and he ended up voting for it.
Yeah, that guy had a chance to be a hero. They were called the Blue Dog Democrats.
Yeah.
And I remember that he was the one. He was this guy from the UP. Nobody knew who he was, but he was holding strong. A lot of people were encouraging him because he was getting heat. A lot of pressure in Washington, a ton of it. And he was holding strong, and then all of a sudden he totally caved. And then he didn't get reelected.
No,
he got beat.
I'm not even sure he even run. I think he was about ready to retire anyway.
He probably said,
That's
"Screw
probably why he just took his payday and bailed out."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably living in somewhere in Georgia right now after he stuck everybody else.
I don't know if y'all remember hearing anything about it, but I know when Ron Paul was running for president, one of the times, he got they kind of gave him a hard time about the earmarks he added to bills, and it was all like you said, stuff for his town, district, whatever. And but the thing about it is, he would add them to it. He said, "Well, they're going to pass it anyway. I might as well get something out of it for my constituents." He'd add an earmark to it, and then he'd vote no on the bill.
That's funny.
He's like, "I don't agree with it. We need a new museum. Y'all gonna pass it anyway. Here you go." So I mean, that's not right, but he was just playing the He was just playing the game.
No, they all learned to play the game. That's for sure.
Well, I think that's why a lot of them hate Trump.
Yeah.
Trump's game is different. He plays by his own set of rules, and they are different than everybody else.
But the stage has been set for years for somebody to come out of the gates and be different, not be a establishment. I mean, look how much, how far Ross Perot went. I mean, the people are hungry for somebody who's not career politician, establishment, somebody.
Yeah.
Ross Perot made me mad. Man, yeah. I think he would have won it, but he backed out and then he jumped back in the race and
he killed himself on that one.
He killed himself on that one because he had the lead on a lot of polls and stuff.
Well, Ross Perot is to blame for Bill Clinton even getting in there.
Yeah.
And if had he jumped out or whatever he did, I went and watched him. I saw him locally. Yeah, he caused Bush a second term, and Bush caused Bush the second term, but Bush had high numbers, and then it was like 2-on-1 with Perot and Clinton.
Yeah.
Well, we'll change the topic a little bit. I don't know if you guys caught this, but I made a video last week and I talked about I'm going to meet up with Mark Robinson. He goes by Mark Keith Robinson. He's the guy who gave that dynamic speech in Greensboro, and that one speech where he did not even know he was being recorded went so viral in front of so many people and shared millions and millions of times. And the NRA uses a portion of it as a commercial now. He spoke at the NRA convention. This guy has become a total rock star for the Second Amendment. He was on Fox News. I think he was on CNN. He was all over the place from a speech. It wasn't even a prepared speech. It was just so well spoken that it garnered the attention of so many people, and it was just shared left and right. So, whether it just serves as a reminder to us or anybody out in the chat room, we never know. You know, we never know what's going to happen, how things are going to work out, who is going to take our words and use them in a positive way for the movement. And this guy's life was just turned around to the good based on one speech. And so I'm going to meet up with the guy in about a week, and you know, talk to him, and then we're going to make a video together and see. Just trying to come up with ideas of things we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things for any of us, all of us here and on in the side chat, is consistently being positive and maintaining that positive image the best we can for our community and the 2A community as we stand. We have to do that. Going out, being mad and pissed off ain't going to get us anywhere. Trust me, I get pissed off constantly, and I do this for a living. It's tough. It's tough. But you got to stay on the level, because if you don't, it's not going to help us any.
One of the things that I find is pretty successful is just ask you instead of getting into a heated debate. I like to ask questions. I say, okay, so you're for bans, all right. So how would you feel if somebody came in your house and demanded your kids? Are you willing to die for them? What are you willing to do? Oh, well, nobody's taking my kids. All right. How are you going to do that? How are you going to change that? If they have a gun and you don't, you know, just like questions like this, and you put them right to a point where they say, when they can no longer answer them, say, you make a pretty good point there, without getting into a heated discussion, or, you know, we're quick to say, it's my right. And it is our right. But that's not going to change minds. You know, many people need more than that.
And to your point, 90% of these people have never shot a gun.
Yeah.
And we got to flip that and get them to shoot one, and then they'll understand. And the more we can teach them and educate them, that's how we're going to succeed. We got to teach, educate, and maintain on a positive level.
And I think we really need to work hard, and I'm half joking with this. We need to start a 2A LGBTQ XYZ community. I think that would be a big step in the right direction to pull some people over. So just throw
Rich,
it out.
how does your mind work?
You gotta go with what works, you know, and that's a big thing right now. So
he come up with Lord Dragon Balls, and you're going to ask him a question like that, Dan?
I just wanted to see if you could answer it.
Every video is here's another stupid video, and you're going to ask a question like that? Come on.
I know.
I was going to say, who said that his mind worked to start with?
There you go. Yeah. Like I said, I was half joking. I mean, we do need to pull more people in and put more emphasis on that. Everybody needs right. Everybody has rights, even. You know, so I want to throw that out.
Yeah, but that's it, man. We got to teach, and we got to explain and give them the information they need to actually understand the things they don't. And that's the biggest thing, is they don't understand. They're being fed all this crap from the media, and the media puts in whatever they want. So we got to actually educate them the way that things really, truly are.
Like, educate them, and on a serious note, educate them on that stereotype. Just because we have conservative views does not mean that we're anti all this stuff that is popular in America. I mean, we're tolerant, and we can show that tolerance, you know. Like, I've heard TR talk about this before, like being tolerant about friends that that he's had on his chats and different things, and we need to eliminate those stereotypes from the conservative movement. It doesn't mean that we necessarily want to go on those platforms, but those people can also be included. They have conservative ideals as well. You know, some of them do, and the more you pull over, the better, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just ask questions. I just keep asking questions. I said, so, you know, how do you suppose the situation's going to work out if you don't have a gun to protect yourself and your family? Like, tell me. Maybe give me something to think of. And when they come up with absolutely nothing, they more often than not, someone says, you know, you make some pretty good points. And I said, well, just think about it, and if you can come up with a way, you can let me know. And then they realize they can't come up with anything.
But then Fuzz Fork has a good idea too. You can't really talk logic into all people, and so those that you can't, you just smash them in the head with a cheeseburger. So there's that.
Left side or right side?
Yeah.
Dan, you might help me with this question. Indiana Patriot is asking, have we heard or have I heard of a On Target up in Michigan? I can't say that I have. Have you heard anything?
Yeah, it's I want to say it's a new place. It's On Target. I think they took over another store in Range, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking it's in Romulus.
Okay. Hope that answers your question, Patriot.
Now right away I thought of On Target gun mold. That's Tony's deal. But yeah, I recall. Okay, there's a gun store in Kalamazoo.
It's a gun shop in Kalamazoo, he's saying. I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah. I just searched for it. Yep. Okay, so maybe I saw a billboard when I was driving through Kalamazoo. But yeah, that's where it's at. So it's on the west side of the state.
Well, guys, it's almost 10 o'clock. I want to go out to the chat room and give everybody a quick shout out, the ones I got here. We had Stalker Steve, the Crazy Scotsman's Papa's Place, Feel, F-E-E-L, Hunts for Food, 39 Camper, Firearm 101, Fuzz Fork 8, Captain Shuck, Ronnie Brown, 6'8" guy, Big Johnson, BIM Tactical, HRM Weapons, Pop's Quest. Pops, I sent you a link. You must not have got it, or you're busy. Kyle Luss, Bohemian Hunting Club, Frank I, G Mangos, Phil Rivers, Ohio Wolverine, Robin Jones, Southern Style 357, India Patriot, Rizza Gizza, and VBorg 001, and Drive Shaft Drew checked in from Canada. Thanks all of you for stopping by. I hope I caught everybody. If I didn't, I apologize. So
Nice group of guys. I recognize a lot of those names, and that's a lot of knowledge out there in the chat room.
Fuzz Fork 8 says Andrew Napolitano for Supreme Court. I seen another comment earlier, and I guess there's 3 Michigan people that's on his 25-person list. I heard on the news yesterday for possible nomination.
One, I can't remember her name right now. I know I will.
Yeah.
But she was on the Michigan Supreme Court, and I watched her give a presentation either last year or the year before, and she was brought up under Scalia, and then she went, to the Michigan Supreme Court, but she was on Trump's list. Now, I really like her, and I think it would be a great pick if he went with a female. The only problem I have is that I worry that the females could be swayed by, if you think about that job, I mean, you would get so much pressure and be concerned with the outcry and all this and that. And you can't worry about that as a Supreme Court. Now, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I hope I just hope whoever he chooses, they got to get him in there right away, immediately. Go nuclear, make it happen, get him in there, and then whatever happens in the midterms happens. But and that seems to be the direction they're going.
And I don't know the minimum age for Supreme Court. If there is one, I'm sure there is. There's got to be. But I hope he finds somebody, really conservative, but as young as he can find. So we can have a 20, 30, 35-year run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this was my biggest thing for going with Trump. Well, not necessarily Trump, but for Hillary not to get it because of these Supreme Court. You look at that Supreme Court, you got Byers that's thinking about retirement. He's another liberal. And of course, Clarence Thomas has been talking about it for a couple of years, and he's one of our strongest voices as conservatives, especially for the gun rights and stuff like that. So, and Kennedy, he's always swung pretty good with us for. He's a swing voter. He was a moderate, so he pretty much went both ways. But he was always pretty strong with us for guns and stuff.
If Hillary would have won, things could be so bad right now that many of us would be contemplating moving probably south, like South America or freaking Chile or something like that. I don't know where, Argentina or something. Because I could see our economy could have very, very possibly, which it was headed. The stock market was headed down when they thought Hillary was going to win, and Trump won. That damn skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. There's no telling what turmoil we could have been in right now at this moment, this many days into her presidency. We'd probably be in a freaking world war. Our economy would tank. The job market would have just nosedive. I mean, it could have been so terrible. I mean, it might not have, but my guess is it would.
I think it would, yeah. Just to follow up, Joan Larson is on his list, and she's from Michigan.
Yeah, I know. I heard them say there was three candidates from Michigan on his list. I heard that back when he first announced it, before he was even elected, that he had a 25-person list.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to go nuclear, not worry about that 60%, and just get them in. Because I'll tell you who else. Clarence Thomas is considering retirement, so it's been leaked, and the rest of those people are not young. So,
well, yeah, you take Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's got one foot in the grave and the other one on a banana peel anyway,
Yeah. So
actually, we could end up with a 7-2 court if he gets reelected again over the next 5 years, 6 years.
And if you're, and the justices knows all the politics that's going on and stuff, and somebody like Clarence Thomas that might think about, hey, this would be a good time for me to retire because then I'm not worried about who's going to take my place. You know what I mean? So I could see that very easily. And the woman you're talking about, within a few years, I don't think she's going to be physically able to do the job, period, anyway, I could say. So, yeah, there's some big things could happen.
Every time you see her, like at presidential address or anything, she's nodding off, sleeping and stuff. She bad shape.
Yeah, she doesn't look well. Yeah, I'd like to see her go. It's time. She's got to go. So, once again, we like getting back to your point, TR. We have to vote in the midterms and hold on to the Congress and the Senate, and if one of these people go, we need to get somebody in there who knows what the hell they're doing and stands up for what we believe in. Look at who Obama put in there.
He put both them women in there, Kagan and Sotomayor or whatever her name is.
They're horrible.
And Kagan, and they're both not really old. I mean, they're not young chickens, but they're not that old. You know, they can be there for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it's after the 10 o'clock hour, guys. I think we're going to prepare to get this thing closed out. I want to let you guys do some talk a little bit about what you got going on and this and that, and we'll let everybody go. Dan, we'll start with you, bud.
All right. Well, hey, enjoyed the chat. It was quite political, but it was fun. A lot going on in the world, and always good to talk about it. I've got some things going on. I mentioned in a video, I've got some 10 millimeters coming in, both a revolver and a SR 1911, both by Ruger. But I got a project going on that I'm going to be working on tomorrow, and it has to do with pocket guns and 380s, and come up with a list of what I feel are pretty good. And so I'm going to be working on that and hopefully have that up by the weekend. So appreciate the chat and everybody on the panel and the chat room.
Quick question I want to answer Stalker Steve. He said, did you see the guy running for governor of Michigan? I don't know which one you're talking about, Steve, but Dan and I seen over at the Second Amendment Foundation a couple weeks ago, we seen all the gubernatorial candidates was there. I recorded the one and put it on a video of Colbeck. So just answer your quick question. Rich, we'll go to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a shameless plug. I just put out a video, kind of a response to Rick Is Your Six Covered. And he had actually had just called me while we were doing this chat. He had seen it, and he wasn't asking me to do this, but I'd like to shout him out. He's getting ready to travel overseas, and apparently he's got this incredible umbrella that he's got to make him feel safe. And it is, and in fairness, it's because he can't take a gun with him overseas. Like he's going to England or something. So he's got this umbrella that's going to help out. And I made this video, and I think Pops had made one yesterday, and some other people have made some of these videos called "Do I Feel Safe?" And I would encourage. I've gotten some just incredibly funny comments on this video, and I would encourage everybody to make a video and how they're going to utilize an umbrella to keep themselves safe. So, and thanks for bringing me on. Thanks to all you guys and everybody out in the chat room. Great bunch out there tonight.
Scotsman.
Oh, appreciate the invite. As always good to be here. As usual, it went to spam, but I found it, so thank you. Good to be here. Glad to be a part of this. Don't have a whole lot going on. Just redid my reloading bench. If you haven't seen that vid, check that out. Completely redid my bench. Got lots going on with that. Hashtag help a brother out. Scotty M1959 actually has kind of stepped up to the plate, if you would. He doesn't want us to have the focus on him. He wants us to put the focus back on CMAX and on AD-USAF. If you guys haven't heard, AD-USAF has came down with a second bout of cancer. He does have a GoFundMe page out there, so if you guys would jump in and help out, it would be much, much appreciated. That's all I got. Thanks for having me.
Matt, I got a quick question for you if you're still out there. The other night when you did TR's chat, did you delete the replay? Because I noticed I got up the next morning to watch it and it was gone. And same thing happened this morning with 1776's chat. I just wondered if YouTube's doing something stupid with them or what. All right, TR.
He said he was going to delete it when he started it.
Okay. Go ahead, TR. You can give your outtakes.
Yeah, and for anybody that tried to check out my Tuesday night chat, I don't know what was going on. I tried 2 different computers and my telephone. I couldn't even join Matt's chat. I'm sure Google was doing changes or YouTube or something like that. I tested it last night. That's why I knew I could get on your chat tonight. I did a little test chat, you know, just real quick, just make sure I could boot it up. But anyway, only thing I got really going on, supposed to be meeting up with Pop's Quest next week, hanging out with him. We'll see how that goes, and should be fun. But mentioning him, this will be the 3rd year that he wants everybody to do, and it's not a VR, it's not a contest, it's not nothing, but hashtag Let Freedom Ring. He wants everybody, even if you can't get out and shoot, re-upload an old video or some old footage of you shooting or somebody shooting, and schedule it for July 4th, 5 o'clock Eastern Time PM. 5 o'clock PM Eastern Time, so that when everybody turns their computer on around that time, it'll just be flooded with hashtag Let Freedom Ring. So, like I said, old video, new video, combination, don't matter. Music, no music, nobody cares. Just flood YouTube with Let Freedom Ring on July 4th. That's all I got.
I was getting ready to bring that up. I've already got mine scheduled. When I was out the range last week, I thought, you know what, I might not make it out there next week, so I just I'll do it now.
Thanks for the reminder, because I'm getting ready to hit the road, and I'll be able to whip out something real quick.
Yeah, I need to do one of those this weekend to have it ready.
Well, all right, we're going to close her out, and we had Matt for Resist the Tyranny. Heckin' Preacher and Bad Billy 429 joined in here at the end, so I just want to give them a quick shout out. So with that, we're going to say good evening, everybody, and we will see you in 2 weeks, good Lord willing. Good night.